Hello everybody. Today we're going to be testing these Fahren Forenner LED 9007 headlights. We're going to be putting them in a 2000 Ford Explorer, replacing the halogens with the LEDs. Inside the package here is a set of gloves. And inside of this little package right here is a user manual and product information. And the one thing I like about these is their compact size. You probably won't have an issue replacing a halogen with these due to size issues. Alright, let's get started. Let's get these things installed. See you in a little bit. Okay, what we're going to do today, we're going to change the headlights in the Ford Explorer. We're going to put these LED 9007 bulbs in it. Okay, to access the bulbs in the headlight assemblies, we're supposed to be able to flip this up right here and then reach way down in here. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. So what we'll probably end up doing, look down in there, David. Like come this way towards me and look back. So right in here, way down there is the bulb. There's like a little section in there. There's a little round thing you have to turn it to release the bulb. It's stuck. So we're going to do this the hard way. So what we're going to do, close that back up. We're going to pull the battery and reach it from back behind here. It's probably the better way anyway, so that we can not break the clips on the wiring harness. Okay, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. I've got a shut off right here, and that turns the ground off. Undo the cables. Let me go get just a 1/2-inch wrench. I'll be right back. Now we have to get down in here. I'm going to disconnect. We're going to take loose the little bracket that holds the battery in. Battery cover. If you'll come right over here, you can look down in there and you can see. And there's the headlight socket right here. I was able to unplug it. What I was concerned with, I didn't want to break this tab right there. They get brittle with age and heat. There's the retaining ring. If I can just get the bulb out, it's stuck. It's the original bulb. There it goes. I think that's the factory bulb. So we've got one out. And you're not supposed to touch them with halogens. Probably the same with these LEDs, which is why they send the gloves with it, but I'm just going to be careful. So you don't want to touch any of that. So again, compare your parts. So they're both straight. Both have the O-ring. Sockets look the same. Right there. 3-prong. So this is a standard 9007. So let's put it back in. Fish it in there without getting it dirty. And this ring, it just threads on there, locks that into place. There it goes. Hear it snap. Then plug the socket for the wiring harness back on. That's got it. So let's put the battery back in it, and then we'll do the other side. You should always put these factory covers back on the battery. Do you know why? No. A lot of people take them off, and they can be a nuisance, but it helps keep the heat from killing the battery. So you get a lot of heat off the engine, especially during the summertime. And there's two things that kill batteries: heat and cold. They like stable, kind of warm temperatures, but not a lot of heat. So I'm going to put the hold down back in there. Come on, everybody can see. So right there, I'm threading that bolt back in. I started it by hand. Always start your bolts by hand so that we don't cross thread them. And by the way, don't over tighten small fastener. And anything that you ever see that could corrode. If you notice that bolt looks a little bit weird, I painted it years ago. Keep things painted so that way they don't rust. Okay, that's got our hold down, got our cover on. And so, positive cable first. You know why you do positive cable first? No, you don't. Because it's less likely to spark if you do the negative. Negative needs to come off first, but it needs to go on last. You don't need sparking around a battery because sometimes they give off hydrogen gas. I've seen a couple of them explode. Years ago I saw one explode in a guy's face when I worked at the parts store. It was pretty bad. He had a stereo in his car. Came out when I swapped the battery and disconnected the positive cable, and it popped. It sounded like a firecracker, and he had acid all over his face. Okay. Negative last. I'm going to disconnect right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the battery power on. So positive's good, negative. So now that should turn the power on to the vehicle. Let's see if the headlight works before we go any further. work. Yeah, it's kind of a wider looking light. So look over here at the factory style. It's more of a warm color. This should be brighter at night. Let's see how it goes. So again, on the Ford Explorers, you should be able to lift this right here and go in here and disconnect the headlight bulb. We're going to do this side the hard way too. So let's again disconnect the battery. And then I'm going to walk around over here. I'm going to disconnect this mass airflow sensor right here, so that I can start taking the air box out, air filter box. So if you notice, I lifted up these little clips. There's one in the front, one in the back. I'm gonna lift this up. Then I can take this and move it out of the way. It's got the air filter right there. So you see this box right here? You see it? That's the air filter box. I'll show you how to get it out. Watch this. If I remember correctly. I think I gotta lift up. Let me fight this. There it goes. And then there's two retaining clips down there. And then it pulls out like this. I'll show you. These are what I had to pull out of here and here. And then these rubber clips come out of the front, out of the side right there. Okay, so look right here, David. There's a panel. You gotta get this panel loose. And there's one clip right here. There's a tool that I've got to take these clips out. Okay, let me go get my tool. You can pause the video. Okay, here's some of the tools. That right there, I think will get it loose. It's just a press-in body clip. Yeah, so that fits right in there, and it just pries it out, that little end. And now we have access again to the headlight bulb. Let me get this clip loose from the wiring harness. See if I can get it out without breaking it. Yep. So again, these little ears, these little retainers, they get very brittle after age and heat, and they're super thin. So if you lift up on this too much, it'll crack it right there, and there won't be anything holding this thing in. Okay. There's the retainer ring again. There. And there's the original halogen bulb, Sylvania. Let's replace it with the new LED. Here's the new LED. Again, we don't want to touch it. I'm making sure it's in there good so that the O-ring seals. Just put the retainer ring on it. And we'll plug the light back in. There. Now let's put our little panel back. This goes into a hole over here. And then we just got to put our clip back in. There. Now let's put our air filter box in. We'll put these grommets in first, and then we'll push these in to the retaining clips. Video right in there, David. You can see these grommets. See them going into the wall right there. And then now, let me get this. Okay, now I gotta line this thing up, push it down, and that's it. Everything looks good. Yeah. Now let's put our filter box back in place. Filter. Need to change that filter. Okay. Then I gotta snap these clips. Come around here, show everybody. So you see this clip? You just lift it up. It snaps. There's another one back here. Thing looks good. Now shine it video right here. I'm gonna put the mass airflow sensor harness back in. That should have it. Let's turn the battery on. And then let's check the headlights. Is that one off or on? It's on? Okay, they're both working. Okay. I guess we're good. Once it gets dark, we'll check the brightness and we'll compare it with the factory halogen style lights. Have you found this video helpful? Please remember to give it a thumbs up. Thank you. And remember, don't be destructive. Fix, repair, create. Make the world better.